Hey guys, it's Gerald. Hope you're all doing well. Okay, so have you guys seen those drones in New Jersey? They're everywhere. I'm talking about those creepy, unidentified flying things swarming the night sky. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie. No one knows who's flying them or why, and it's seriously freaking people out. The mystery just adds to the fear. I mean, I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little freaked out too. It's hard not to be. The unknown is terrifying, right? It makes you question everything. Like, what if it's aliens? I know it sounds crazy, but who knows? Or the government doing weird experiments again. It's not like we haven't seen that before. Ugh. It's just a lot to process. The uncertainty is overwhelming. And the worst part is this whole drone thing is really messing with people's heads. It's like a collective anxiety. Anxiety is through the roof right now and everyone's on edge. It's palpable. I know I can't be the only one feeling this way. We're all in this together. So because I care about you guys and your mental health is super important, I wanted to share some tips on how to cope with all this craziness. We need to stay strong. This whole situation has me spiraling, so I can't even imagine what you guys are going through. It's tough. We need to look out for each other. You know, support is crucial. So let's dive into some ways to protect our mental health during this whole drone debacle. Self-care is key. What even is going on? It's a mystery we need to solve together. Okay, so first things first, it's totally normal to want to stay updated on what's happening with these drones. It's human nature to be curious and want to know what's going on in the world around us. I get it, I'm glued to the news too. It's almost like a ritual now, checking the latest updates as soon as I wake up. But, and this is a big but, you have to draw a line. You need to set boundaries for your own sanity. You can't let yourself get sucked into the 24/7 news cycle and endless Twitter threads. It's a rabbit hole that can consume your entire day. Trust me, I've been there, and it's a dark, dark place. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and anxious when you're constantly bombarded with information. It's like a car crash, you know? You can't help but look, even though you know it's not good for you. You don't want to look, but you can't look away. It's a strange, almost addictive compulsion. And the more you stare at the wreckage, the worse you feel. It's a vicious cycle that can be hard to break. It's important to find a balance between staying informed and not letting the constant barrage of information overwhelm you. Your mental health is just as important as staying updated. Choose a few reliable news sources that you trust and check them maybe once or twice a day, max. This way, you stay informed without getting overwhelmed. And for the love of all that is holy, unfollow any accounts that are only posting about the drones 24/7. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. You need a break from that negativity, boo. Take some time to enjoy the little things in life. Think of it like this. You wouldn't eat a whole cake in one sitting, would you? It's too much of a good thing. Okay, maybe you would, but you know what I mean. Moderation is key. It's all about moderation, people. Balance is essential in all aspects of life. Don't overload your brain with too much drone drama. It's not worth the stress and anxiety. Instead, take breaks, go for walks, pet your dog, bake a cake. I don't know, do something that makes you happy and takes your mind off the news. Just do something, anything, to get your mind off of those creepy flying things. Find a hobby or activity that brings you joy and relaxation. Your mental health will thank you for it. You'll feel more balanced and at peace. Remember, knowledge is power, but ignorance in this case might just be bliss. Sometimes it's okay to step back and take a break from the constant flow of information. Okay, so maybe you're thinking, Gerald, I can't just shut my brain off. I'm freaking out over here. My mind is racing with a million thoughts, and I hear you. I really do. That's where mindfulness and meditation come in. They can be your sanctuary in the chaos. I know. It sounds kind of woo-woo and out there, but trust me on this one. It's not just for hippies anymore. Meditation is like this magical thing that can actually calm your anxiety and quiet those racing thoughts about drones taking over the world. It's like hitting the reset button for your mind. And the best part is it's free, and you can do it anywhere, anytime, no special equipment needed. Even just taking a few minutes each day to sit or lie down in a quiet place, close your eyes and focus on your breath can make a world of difference. It's like giving your brain a mini vacation. And if you're like me and have the attention span of a goldfish, don't worry, it's totally normal to get distracted. There are tons of guided meditation apps and videos out there that can help you stay focused. They can be your personal meditation coach. It might feel a little weird at first, but stick with it. Like any new habit, it takes time to get used to. It's like working out for your brain. The more you practice, the stronger and more resilient your mind becomes. The more you do it, the easier it gets and the better you'll feel. You'll start to notice a sense of calm and clarity. And who knows, maybe after a few weeks of meditation, you'll be so zen that those drones won't even faze you anymore. You'll be in your own peaceful bubble. You'll be all like, "Namaste, drones. You do you, and I'll be here calm and collected." All right, let's talk about routine. Remember those? Back when life was normal and we didn't have to worry about mysterious drones watching our every move. Yeah, those were the good old days. But just because the world feels like it's gone topsy-turvy doesn't mean our routines have to go out the window too. In fact, sticking to a routine is more important now than ever. It provides a sense of normalcy and control in a time when everything else feels so uncertain. So try to wake up and go to bed around the same time each day, even if you don't have to. Eat your meals at regular intervals, shower, get dressed, all that good stuff. It might seem small, but trust me, it makes a difference. Think of it like this. Your routine is your anchor in the storm. It keeps you grounded and prevents you from drifting too far out to sea where those creepy drones are probably lurking. Stay strong, my friends. Stick to your routines. Okay, so we've talked about staying informed, practicing mindfulness and maintaining a routine. Now let's talk about the importance of human connection or, furry friend connection if you're like me and prefer the company of animals. No judgment here. When you're feeling overwhelmed and anxious, it can be tempting to isolate yourself from the world and binge watch Netflix in the dark. And listen, there's a time and a place for that, believe me. But it's important to remember that you're not alone in this. Reach out to your friends and family, whether it's a quick text, a phone call, or even a virtual coffee date. Talking to someone you trust about how you're feeling can do wonders for your mental health. And if you're not quite ready to talk about your drone-induced anxiety, that's okay too. Sometimes just spending time with loved ones, even if you're not talking about what's going on, can be incredibly comforting. Okay, so you've been bombarded with drone news, you've meditated until you're practically levitating, and you've called your grandma just to hear a friendly voice. What's next on the anxiety-busting agenda? Exercise, baby. I know. Working out might be the last thing you feel like doing when you're stressed out. But trust me on this one. Getting your body moving can actually help to clear your head and improve your mood. It doesn't have to be anything too intense. Even just going for a walk around the block, doing some gentle yoga or dancing around your living room like nobody's watching, because let's be real, those drones are probably watching anyway, can make a difference. Exercise releases endorphins, and endorphins make you happy. And happy people just don't shoot down unidentified flying objects, right? Okay, maybe that's a stretch, but you get the idea. All right, let's talk about social media. On the one hand, it can be a great way to stay connected with friends and family, especially during times of uncertainty. But on the other hand, it can also be a breeding ground for negativity, misinformation, and let's be real, drone conspiracy theories that will send you down a rabbit hole of paranoia. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by all the drone drama, it might be time for a social media detox. I'm not saying you have to delete all your accounts and go completely off the grid, although tempting, right? But try limiting your social media intake to maybe 30 minutes a day, or even just a few times a week. And when you're on social media, be mindful of the accounts you follow and the content you consume. Unfollow any accounts that are constantly posting about the drones or spreading negativity. Your mental health will thank you for it. Listen, I'm not a therapist. I'm just a guy on YouTube who loves conspiracy theories and making people laugh. But if there's one thing I've learned over the years, it's that it's okay to ask for help when you're struggling. If you're feeling overwhelmed by anxiety, fear, or just the general weirdness of the world right now, please don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health professional. There's no shame in seeking help, and it could make a world of difference. Think of it like this. If you had a broken leg, you wouldn't try to fix it yourself, would you? You'd go to the doctor, get a cast, and let the professionals do their thing. Mental health is no different. Okay, we're almost at the finish line here, guys. You've stayed informed, but not too informed. You've meditated, you've exercised, you've limited your social media intake, and you've reached out for professional help if needed. You're basically a drone-dodging, anxiety-busting superhero at this point. But before we wrap things up, I want to talk about the importance of self-care. And no, I'm not talking about face masks and bubble baths, although those are great too. I'm talking about taking care of your mental, emotional, and physical well-being in whatever way feels good to you. Maybe it's reading a book, taking a hot bath, listening to your favorite music, or spending time in nature. Whatever it is that brings you joy and helps you to recharge, make time for it. You deserve it. Look, I know things are weird right now. We've got unidentified drones flying around. The news is a dumpster fire, and I don't even get me started on the state of the world. It's enough to make anyone feel anxious. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, just know that you're not alone. But remember, you have the power to take control of your mental health. Use the tips we talked about today to stay grounded, manage your anxiety, and navigate this crazy world we live in. We're all in this together, and we're going to get through this. And hey, maybe one day we'll find out what those drones were all about. But until then, stay safe, stay informed, and most importantly, stay sane.